Okay, so this is just a hack on the classic separating mixtures experiment. So what you do is, in order to get their chemistry a little bit better, you actually introduce them to measurement and ratios, which is an introduction to stoichiometry. So this is a good hack for junior science, but if you really want to test out your senior chemistry students, you could give this to them and expect them to get the exact results within plus or minus 0.1. And that would require washings and additional calculations. So it would require a lot more care. So I had to measure out every single one precisely. And then because I had to set a timer for 35 minutes, so they had to get it all done in a very short amount of time. It is a competition. I'll show you the scoring at the end. I did actually give them an introduction because they weren't aware of some of the methods and techniques. So just told them basically measuring everything before and after quite clearly, and then filtering they didn't know at the time. And so when we get into it, so that first of all, the first thing is to measure the whole thing. So tearing the balance and measuring the whole thing. This one here is just them filtering off the salt water. And so if I was going to give that to a senior class, I would probably get them to measure out 50 mils and do a washing and factor that into the calculations, because there's water left behind this fine, but there's salt left behind as well when the water's left behind in the salt ion at the top. And so they're boiling off the salt water here. Be careful not to let it dry completely, because then it could possibly crack the beaker. And when it is super hot and dry, don't let it touch cold water, it will crack. And so they just measure out the salt there. Hopefully you would measured out the beaker when it was empty. This particular group didn't, so they had to wash the beaker out, dry it, and measure the beaker, so they could get the salt value. So students, they don't have to follow these methods. There's many ways to go about this, but they have to think about it and do correct measurements to get it. So you've got to dry out the leftover sand and iron. And so it's better just to do a gentle heating. So just to grab it and just gently heat it over the Bunsen burner until it's all loose and clean. And so this particular group here is now at the stage where they're removing the iron with a magnet. Be nice to put a plastic bag around it so you can cleanly remove the iron filings from the magnet. So wrap the magnet in a inside a plastic bag. And so they measured it here. Would be better to measure the filter paper before. I think they might have measured it afterwards. And then for convenience, you can just throw the iron on top. You can see there seems to be some salt contamination there. Okay. And the scoring is, if you went over, then you obviously did something wrong. So if you're under and still reasonable, I give 1 mark. Most students are actually quite spot on some of them. So when you're spot on, I gave you two ticks. And if you're under but still reasonable, I gave it 1 tick. So had a tie. Two teams got first place, got 4 ticks for this particular round.